Owen Livesey taking on Muhammad Ali, and how we had a really good chat with Muhammad Ali yesterday in the weigh-ins or after the weigh-ins.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to the first vlog of this new channel. We are sitting here open up with a cool fight with my boy Owen Livesey. He just actually won his first match.
I know. It's such a good matchup.
Maybe I can start cooking. Final 20 seconds in. Tactical performance, very aware of what he needed to do. And we saw our first 10-8 round, Chris Kale.
It is Wednesday morning. Yeah, Wednesday morning. And I don't know if you can see on the camera, but I am losing weight fast. And I'm eating more food than ever. Talked about this on my Instagram story a little bit, but it's been crazy, you know. I switched up training more to be hypertrophy based, still having my athleticism and, you know, in play, make sure that I never lose that, because that's, at the end of the day, health is my number one, family is my number one, and my business is my number one. But I wanted to just build a little more muscle tissue, you know, hopefully get to like 260, stay just as lean, which for me being 240-ish for a while, 245, and then going up to 250 is cool. But I increased my food. Weight didn't budge. Increased my food again. Weight dropped a little bit. Increased my food again to about 1,000 total grams of carbs a day, and weight dropped again. So my weight is dropping, which is crazy to me, but it goes to show all those epigenetic changes that really do occur. I'm not someone who had a low body fat set point. Even now, I'm not like shredded by any means. I'm leanish, but I'm not like completely shredded. I never built muscle tissue easy. You just go down the list. I have very moderate genetics for everything except my willpower. Willpower in my mind was always something I always had. I wasn't always, you know, intelligent at all. I'm a naturally dumb person, honestly. But I was always a naturally hard worker. And it's just cool to see that after, what are we going on, 13 years of this? Like it's all paying off, which is really cool to see. But it's crazy because now, just with where life is at, how my days are situated, I honestly, this sounds weird, but I don't have time to eat 1,000 grams of carbs. Like, that's a lot of carbs to eat per meal. And it takes a while, and it's time I'd rather spend working, being with my family, training, like not eating. And I guess it's just funny because if I look at like right now where my physique is at, my energetics, like I'm always a naturally strong person. I probably would have been a pretty decent powerlifter. Energetics are pretty good and I'm pretty muscular, so I could probably be a pretty good strong man. In the boxing world, my boxing's pretty phenomenal. Would have been a pretty decent boxer, but I was never born to be a bodybuilder. I just was not. But it's funny because that's what I want to do. And it's super interesting to see where things are at. I'm just riding it out. I think I will be dropping carbs down to just manageable. I think what I might do for a week is pull things down from 1,000 grams of carbs to whatever. So I have my normal protein, normal trace fats from there, and then I'll put carbs just based off of biofeedback, how I feel best, and make sure that it's not taking too much time, because eating 300 grams of carbs is really simple. Eating 800 grams of carbs, more difficult. 1,000 grams of carbs, a little ridiculous. So I have a very adaptive metabolism, as people like to say. It's, you know, I can eat tons of calories, I can eat low calories, and I'll adapt in either way. So it's definitely interesting to figure out. So in the background, I'm figuring that out right now. This week I was supposed to actually go down to Florida, was supposed to train with Atalia Coelho. So I'm doing part of her prep for the Olympia. Was going to meet with Matt Jansen. I'm doing stuff in the back end for him and Revive and all that cool stuff. And then was supposed to meet up with Jason, a good friend of mine. We've worked together for 7.5 years. He's in the WWE now. And they were going to have training camp and all that kind of cool stuff. And all the plans just kind of like fell through. I did plan it last minute, so definitely partially on me. But like Natalia had to go to Arizona to cover a show. Matt's schedule just got crazy busy, family stuff. And then Jason, the WWE, for those of you who don't know, they end up telling you, at least the agents that I've dealt with over the years, they end up telling you where you have to be, when you have to be, and all the details like 12, 24 hours beforehand. So it's tough to schedule for the athletes, and it's even more tough for other people to schedule around that. So all good. Kind of stinks. I was looking forward to seeing everyone, but no matter what, definitely be traveling to the Olympia. And like I said, I do want to do some traveling to some other places as well. But because of that, I was planning to be traveling this Thursday, Friday, so tomorrow and the next day. And since that's not happening, I'm going to try and do some back-end work, which I'll probably talk about later on. But those are the plans. That's what's going on this week. And other than that, Lila is going to be starting up kindergarten next week, which blows my mind. Absolutely crazy. But the family's good. Work is good. Training's good. Really odd about the body weight, though. I feel like, because again, if you guys remember a year ago, my goal is to get to and never be above 240 pounds again and live at 6 weeks out condition at whatever weight that would be. Don't care if it's 220, 230, whatever. Like, don't care. Just wanted to be lean year round. And I feel like indirectly, I'm going to end up reaching that, but we're going to see. I'm trying to figure it all out as it's happening. I did post up yesterday about using Can-C eye drops to reverse my dependency on glasses. Now I'm to the point where my glasses, I only need them if I really just abuse myself with work, which does happen, so I have to have them around. But I haven't worn my glasses in probably a full week. And before that, it'd be like it was only for an hour or two, and then nothing for a week or two. And so it only comes in absolutely as needed, because remember, when you wear glasses, how that works, the changing in the light, it shortens that musculature, in the back of your eye. It's post-workout, little brain dead. Shortens that musculature in the back of your eye, and it changes how you actually see things so you can focus better. And that's good to see things, but bad for the long-term changes of always having that shortened, crushed oval, which your eye should have been a perfect circle. So eyes have been progressing absolutely awesome, which I'm really pumped. Definitely have to talk more about that, because I did some other cool goodies in play for my eyes, and a lot of eye drops and stuff like that. But I'm going to get rolling. I'm going to start some laundry so Lindsay doesn't have to. You guys have a fantastic day.
What's that, Aiden? What's on my head? You sure there's a sticker on my head? Are you sure? Where is it? Show me. Where's the sticker at?
Right there.
You should color on it. Color around it. I don't know where it's at. Where's it at? Go ahead.
Right there.
Are you sure? So you said dementia?
Mm-hmm.
Lots to do with dementia. So first, let's backtrack a little bit. If you look at the literature, they're slowly starting to change their mind on what the cause of dementia, Alzheimer's, and all these things are. They mainly started looking at different types of plaque in the brain and thought, oh, okay, it's a plaque problem in the brain. But then if you peel back the layer from what's causing the plaque, because they can never really figure it out, they're just like, oh, there's plaque there, let's clear it away. To clear that plaque away, there's cerebrolysine, there's saffron, there's so many cool things, right? But if we peel back the layer, now what's kind of being accepted is we're seeing actually not only overall inflammation, oxidation, but underlying organ stress, which is causing that plaque accumulation. So the downstream of there could have been renal problems or hepatic problems or something else is going on to drive that accumulation of plaque in the brain. So it's not so much that there's a brain-based problem as much as there's something underlying that's then causing that brain-based problem. Does that make sense? Got the kids' lunches made for today. One of the things I do neuroplastic-wise is working on improving my photographic memory, which I've never had naturally. I had to actually give myself photographic memory. One of the little drills is simple. Open up your kid's lunchbox, close your eyes, and literally pretend you're taking a mental screenshot. Close it up, do all of the other ones, do that for the same, and then go back and repeat without looking in there what was inside. It is one of the best things that I've done to help improve my memory. And then over time, you try and focus in on like Chobani, like just start off with first water, Chobani, bar, snack. Start off there. Then as you get better, remember, Chobani creations, apple pie, a la mode, and start remembering all of the fine details and slowly crispen that picture in your head. And if you do that long enough, I'm doing it now for over a year, and it's really worked out well for me.
And I do a lot of those little things, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to be doing these vlogs again, to show you guys a lot of this behind the scenes stuff that I've been doing for how long, that's really helped me out, my clients out, and just cool stuff that I usually don't talk about. So got their lunches all made. Today's Friday, so it is my fasting day. So I have decided, after thinking about it more, you guys saw me thinking about it and talk about it more, I am going to auto-regulate my food intake and just see what feels good. So I have my set protein that comes with a trace amount of fats. So set protein's roughly like 250-ish grams, something like that. Fats coming from that would end up totaling something like 50-ish grams to 60 indirect. So that's like the baseline. And then carbohydrate wise or extra protein wise, I'll kind of auto regulate based on the day. And because I can't keep eating 1,000 grams of carbs. I have no desire to eat 1,000 grams of carbs, and I will just shift my paradigm and just, see what happens, really. Especially since the goals are to look like a bodybuilder, move like an athlete, and be as healthy as a hippie. Like, those are my goals right now. And maybe as smart as the CEO, I don't know. That list could go on and on. But so because of that, I decided, okay, I'm getting back into my fasting on Fridays. Fasting on my Fridays, I really do enjoy. Research-wise, if you look at the autophagy benefits and things like that, it's not so much the autophagy. We generally see that with longer bouts of fasting. We see that with different styles of fasting. It is there, and autophagy is a really good thing to drive up that whole management, that recycling, and that clearance process. But I don't believe a 24-hour fast is doing much for autophagy if you just kind of understand basic biology. But what it is doing is it's pulling down inflammation. It's pulling down your resting heart rate. It is doing all these cool things to allow your body to reset from a gut-based aspect. If you're trying to be the best athlete out there, and health is secondary to that, then fasting's definitely not going to be for you. Maybe intermittently doing it, something like that. But we obviously, as an athlete, need to fuel. So I'm trying to do the best of both worlds to get my longevity, get my athleticism, but also make sure that things are progressing how I want them to, with my actual health, with my composition, and with my longevity. So it's an interesting give and take, but what I do is essentially, what I'm starting today is essentially going to be fast from Thursday dinner until Friday dinner. That's when we actually have our free meal. It's been Chipotle for freaking ever now. Kids love it. We love it. It's really cool. Backstory, I don't know if you guys know this, me and Lindsay met at Chipotle. So I was back on grill and she was up on tortilla, and it was one of those things, it just worked out. Now, Lindsay would always accidentally drop things, and I noticed she'd be bent over for a pretty prolonged period of time. So we were both interested right out of the gate. But no, we just had great memories from Chipotle. So either way, that's how the fasting is set up. I take my normal supplements in the morning. I do my normal stuff. I am putting my leg workouts now on Friday because of all of the body parts I'm trying to grow and improve upon. I'm going to slowly build my legs back up because I pulled off all that size on them specifically so I could do my sprinting work and stay athletic. But I do want to put on some more size because I lost a lot of size on my legs. It was like a full 10-ish pounds. So I definitely want to slowly put that back on. So fasted training will still be happening today. Not the ideal environment for hypertrophy, obviously. Not ideal for multiple reasons, but for my lifestyle, my goals, and trying to balance everything out, I'm trying to prioritize things. And it's always that give and take shift, because if you get too dogmatic in one approach, you're going to lose out. Or if you get too over-focused on one, all of a sudden, if I would only focus on building muscle, then all of a sudden I'm eating more, I'm not having fasting days, I'm pulling back on my cardiovascular work, and then you start losing out on the health, or you start losing out on the athleticism. And it's all about the balancing act. And anytime I work with a hybrid athlete like myself, it's actually harder. Bodybuilders are easier. Straight athletes are easier. Gen Pop is easier. Hybrid athletes trying to do it all, that's harder because you have more systemic fatigue to manage. So it gets tough, but it's super fun. And I like that I can auto-regulate with that stuff. So that's super cool. Other than that, I hope to slowly regain my squat. I used to be able to squat 6 plates easy for reps. Have not even touched anything close to that in a while. I've only been squatting 225, nothing crazy. Just slowly easing back into it. And we'll see how things go today with my squats. Training program wise, I didn't break down my latest training split. I probably should. I'll overlay some clips and all that kind of cool stuff, hopefully of the squatting later on today, but also of my hill sprints and all that kind of cool stuff. So how I have it set up is the priorities are arms, delts, and then abs, forearms. Those are the priorities. So I'm working out Monday through Friday, 2 sessions a day, except on Friday. Arms on Monday in the morning. Tuesday morning is delts and traps. Wednesday morning is chest and back. Thursday morning is arms again. And then Friday today is going to be legs midday. The other 4 days of the week, that midday session, will start off with PBO walkout, a 40-minute PBO walk outside. with Lindsay and the kids. And again, PBO meaning parasympathetic beta oxidation. That means teaching yourself to utilize stored body fat even when you're at rest, because we're resting 20 hours a day or whatever. So you got to get pretty good at that PBO-based system. So I have that PBO walk 4 times per week. I will do the actual hill sprints with the kids, which I will put up on here of me pushing them up the hill. That lately has been Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we might do more and stuff like that, but that always happens no matter what. And then we come back from that on Monday through Thursday. And on those days, I end up doing forearms and I end up doing abs. Usually about 6-ish sets each. But my training program as a whole is focused on failure. So I have my baseline amount of exercises and basic total volume and working sets that I think I need as a minimum. But every day I'll auto-regulate it, because to me, I try and get a muscle now to just complete failure. With how I'm trying to balance everything out, it makes the most sense to push real failure training. But everything changes day to day. If you had a busier day the day before, if you had worse sleep, if you ate more or less food, so many factors to consider. As I'm gonna start traveling, I need to be able to take that into consideration too. So I know I have my baseline amount, but if I can handle more, I'm gonna definitely do more. The goal is still to be loading pretty moderately, not trying to go below really 6-ish reps, trying to stay above maybe in the 8 high rep range. Maybe I'll work back in some couple things that are a little heavier loading, honestly, just for fun, because I do miss that. But the main goal is to get a muscle to fail. And for me, failure is not, I can't move this body part anymore. It gets to a point to wherever, let's say you're doing curls, and all of a sudden you lose your pump, you can't feel it anymore, you're just kind of going through the motions, it doesn't feel like anything's happening. That's a sign of failure. There's that neurological connection goes. So for me, in my paradigm, I'm gonna auto-regulate things like that and really just have some fun with it. So that's the overall setup. So it's essentially weights in the morning and then HIIT work, PBO work, and the touch-up work midday, Monday through Thursday. And then Friday is just my leg workout. And then we usually take a really big walk after that. We do walk that hill, and that hill never gets easy. You can walk it, you can run it. It is always terrible in the best way possible. So that is how things are looking. It's funny now that I'm talking about it, I do kind of want to start lifting a little bit heavier. And this is that tough give and forth back and take, because longevity to me means not having joint health issues just as much as organ-based stressors. So it's fine line to balance, but I don't feel like 4 or 5 plates for me for deadlifts or for squats is anything crazy or would cause any problems long-term with compression of any spinal columns or anything like that. So we'll see. I'm going to maybe get back into that. My pressing has never been that strong. Like right now, dumbbell inclines and flats, it's like hundreds, which, you know, it's really not that strong. I don't flat barbell bench anymore. There's a lot of cool transitions that we're going through right now, but I feel like I'm finally settling in on this pattern of how I need to train to live the life and have the progress that I want. So I'm going to get the kids' breakfasts ready and then work.
Body was just exhausted. That's why I had the gastritis on before the show.
Yeah. And then that's usually what happens. And that's where, like, as you get to the end of that prep scenario, even just the amount of food volume that you have to eat in order to stay full on stage for someone your size, that is just more indirect stressors. So it's pulling down stressors in every way, but you also have to be able to eat. So it's that fine balance between supplementation and food, you know?
I was crazy. Just when I didn't flex, I have nothing popping out. And when I flex, I have all the line. And I'm like, it's just flatness issue, man.
Exactly. It's not a conditioning problem. When you're not full enough, it doesn't show off your conditioning. So you could look out of shape. And that's how it is for all the guys on the Olympia stage, all the guys at the top level IFBB. No one's coming to the shows out of shape. Like maybe 1 or 2 guys, but it's super rare. Usually they're just not full.
It's like Big Ramy at Olympia 222.
Yes.
He was.
All right, guys, here are the squats I was talking about. So me and Lindsay now are doing this squat workout together. So leg workout together on Fridays. This is fasted. It's like about 20 hours fasted for me. I have not been squatting heavy for a while. So for me to be able to do this with, it's like $395, something like that, which is very light for me. But to keep it that controlled and that stable felt really, really good for me. I'm really happy with how these looked, especially because, again, just getting back into squatting heavy now, really trying to really bring back my legs that I lost. So I'm really excited about that. Lindsay's kind of in the same boat as me, where she's getting back into the groove of squatting, getting back into the groove of everything. And having these workouts together are just absolutely so much fun. So here she is, glutes are growing awesome, getting used to it, getting a hang of everything. But she's been progressing really fast. And waist has been coming in, and she's been having great energy, great functioning. Like, she's pretty much firing on all cylinders, which is super cool. We ended up doing some other stuff as well. And then the only other thing we did record, as you're going to see here, is I did do some stiff leg deadlifts. Same thing, just 395, nothing crazy, but slowly just getting back into deadlifting and squatting and everything like that. Again, this was fasted for 20 hours, only had amino acids during the workout, and things felt very easy, didn't lose any energy. So I'm going to see if I can keep this kind of modified fast going on these Fridays and bring my legs up, but still have the ability to drive longevity and still be able to perform the way I want to. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first vlog. Stick around for more.